Hey, are you tired of being awesome alone? Well, so are Tyra and Charles. Happy New Year, everybody. It's time to be awesome together. Oh, Tyra, it's been, well, actually for us, it's been about 3 weeks.
I know you cheated on me.
Did I? Or did I take an opportunity to spread the Tyra love? Did you go back and hear?
I did. You were so sweet.
You're welcome. Because it's all
I love
true.
you too.
So.
And I'm wearing something from my trip. So.
Is it a Halo hoodie?
It's a Saka. This is fulcrum for those in the know. I'm also straightening up my desk. But we did remember to hit record.
Oh, you got your blueberry mug.
I do.
That's
I love this one.
Actually, I believe that's the first year you participated with the Dragon Con Digital Media Track.
I've had it forever.
Blueberry was our one and only sponsor that year, and Todd sent a whole bunch of Blueberry gear to give away, and that was some of it was the coffee mug. It's really well done. I just refuse to take that size coffee mug because that 8 ounces just pisses me off. I can't do it.
I don't use it as a coffee mug.
Yeah, no, but
it holds pens and sits on my desk and reminds me to hit the record button.
Yeah. So back in the day when I did bear crawling, I actually designed a bear crawling mug from Cafe Press, I think was the site we had at the time, and looked great. You know, this nice, beautiful black wrap and my face and the bear's face and the logo. Still wouldn't buy one because it's too small. I just can't do it.
That's
not gonna
hilarious.
happen. Needed to be a Super Bowl. It's gonna be 24 ounces, baby. If I want to drink out of it.
So I have a question.
What's your question?
Do I sound okay?
You sound great. Actually, that's my question. Do I sound okay too?
I can actually hear you tonight, which is amazing.
You know, I won't go into it here. We'll talk about it after.
And by the way, we are not playing on Twitch.
We are not. It says I got a green check mark on this side. I don't.
Okay, so Charles,
and it is
talk
the right
to your
logo.
screen.
So.
Ooh, I'm just getting notifications like crazy. Oh, Kaz says we're both okay.
Kaz should be telling us we're great. We pay her to tell us we're great. I don't like this okay stuff from Kaz. Come on.
Don't pay her shit.
Well, maybe that's why she said we're okay and, not great. We need to pay her more so she tells the truth.
She needs 100% raise.
I'll give her 100 times her current salary right now. Right now. The cause is amazing. We thank you very much. And she says you're awesome.
We're being awesome together.
So, you got that last minute getaway to Disney, and then the next 2 weeks is Christmas and New Year. So how has your holiday been?
Crazy. I just finished. We still have Christmas up. Christmas comes down this weekend. And for those of you who have not seen my house, we decorate like there's no tomorrow. So we have a Disney village. We have about 100 Santas. It's crazy. And my husband this year decided that the front yard needed to up its game.
Oh, that was him upping his game. I feel bad for him.
Oh, shush. He won't listen.
He won't listen to this.
No, he's trying. We've got things for next year. Every year we're going to add to it. But we used to have an archway of lights that went over the driveway until they crashed.
Like just fell over and smashed?
No, they went down, like folded down.
Oh.
Because winter snow, which we might be having some of.
By the way, have I mentioned my studio is not central heating and air? So I forgot to call somebody. I have space. I have plenty of space here. Actually, if I move all the way, well, you can't quite see it's on the edge of the camera, but I've got a big, nice indoor space heater in here. But I forgot to call somebody to say, hey, go turn it on this afternoon. So I walked in about 10 minutes ago to a 30-degree studio, and that's why I'm very chilly on the mic right now.
That sounds cold.
And I just like this name. We have vintage macaroni in the room. So that's pretty awesome.
Who is that?
That's don't you remember 1980s, that craft box of macaroni you find in the back of the shelf that your grandma had there from the 70s? That's vintage macaroni.
My mom and dad probably had some in their pantry when we moved them.
Doesn't everybody? Whenever you go to move, you always find why is this thing says expired 1998 on it? But that's not what we called to talk about.
No.
We actually saw each other over the holidays, which is great. But it is 2025 now, and we are starting our year off. Oh, in 2 weeks, we're going to Chattacon to be awesome at Chattacon. It's a week
from Friday, Charles. It's not even 2 weeks.
Like a week from tomorrow?
From 2 days. Yes, holy crap. Holy crap. And I looked, and for some reason, she made me the moderator on our panel. So I'm like.
Because she knows you're awesome.
Yeah.
Look, you got to trust in our Lord and Savior, Regina. Regina knows everything.
Awesome. We love Regina.
She
keeps the things moving.
She really does. She gave me my game show this year, which is really cool.
I'm very excited about your game show, but it's Wise and Nerdy is at the same time as our friend Bob Magoo.
Yes,
Bob.
The one panel Bob guy. Cause I'm like, where's Magoo? Where's Magoo? Oh, and he broke a tradition. This will be the first live con that we've done that he's not been on the show. He's literally been on our show at every convention we did last year.
Well, he feels special. I don't feel special. I wasn't even invited.
You're going to be on the show this year. You're the guest for Wise and Nerdy at Chattacon. Surprise!
Oh, who knew?
I might have actually forgot to tell you that, but yeah.
I'm excited about Chattacon, actually. I haven't been, ever. My husband's been, I think. He might remember it. He was single and drinking. So,
that's how that goes sometimes.
It was before Tyra. So, but we're very excited. I can't wait. Yeah. We may come up and go to the aquarium first.
Yeah, we're definitely talking about that. We're talking about some other things in town. The four of us are talking about going to a whiskey. Well, I'm definitely going to the whiskey tour on Sunday afternoon after the con. But
it depends on
Shane might be chiefing it up if
there's football schedules we have to worry
yeah Shane, hey buddy, tune in for a second. Guess what, they have these cool little mobile TVs that you can keep in your pocket and you can watch while we're drinking scotch. Come on, man.
He will
killing me.
No, I mean, there was I don't know if it was a TikTok video or a reel or whatever, but there was a video out of Dak Prescott, I think that's who it is, watching one of the bowl games while at the Golden Globes or something. It was hilarious. I was like, awesome. Yeah, that's my husband.
That's pretty. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's most true sports fans, right? So
I have facilitated him on occasion.
I mean, why not? There's no reason. We got headphones and we have portable devices. I have a hard time. I mean, unless you're at marriage counseling for an hour, maybe you should pay attention there.
And he might be there because.
Hey, Valencia.
Hey.
Welcome. And Vintage says they are a Dragon Con regular.
Ooh.
So, well, hopefully you'll become a Dragon Con media track. Wow, I'm too cold for this. Digital media track regular is what I'm trying to say.
Talking, it's not natural.
But it is what I do for a living. So here we go. Everybody who's ever known me knows that I take a poo-poo on resolutions, mostly because most of the people I've experienced who really, you're saying, it's become a meme, right? It's become a modern day real life meme. Well, come January 1st, I'm going to quit smoking. And unfortunately, our whole economy preys on that. I mean, I've not gotten more BetterHelp ads, weight loss ads, new job, new career ads than I do last week of December and through the month of January, because that's when everybody's in depression and wanting to change things. Tyra, it sounds like you've had an inundation of that.
If I see one more ad for pharmaceutical drugs to help you lose weight.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just all over the place. So,
now, if you'd like to support the show and give us pharmaceutical drugs to lose weight, we will love you for a long time. I'll speak for myself. I will love you for a long time. But yes, I don't need to be fat shamed by TikTok. Thank you.
No,
I appreciate it.
The amount of fat shaming on TV and everywhere is just
I don't watch TV, so
off the charts. We watch a lot of
Okay, that
sports.
sounded arrogant. I mean, I don't watch like broadcast TV with commercials. I just download or stream on services, everything, because I can't stand commercials. Like, but that's not what we call it. We're just. It's been 2 weeks, people.
Hi,
2
we haven't seen each
weeks.
other. Well, that's not true. We actually did see each other.
Yeah,
but we didn't get
5-10
time to
minutes.
chat.
It's at a party, right? So we had to mingle and talk to people. You were the host of the party, so
I had to host.
Yeah. We just need to get a dinner. Maybe you and Shane come out for a barbecue Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and we'll build a ramp in the snow.
That's it. That'll be exciting. Yeah, if it's snowing, we're not leaving because I don't know if you remember our subdivision.
Oh, yeah, no. You can't get out of your subdivision.
We have Cardiac Hill and Murder Hill. And if it's going to snow,
you live right at the plateau in between them. So.
I do.
Yep.
So we ain't going anywhere. I bought extra milk and eggs.
Yeah, she has her milk sandwiches ready to go.
I did. Good. I actually made French toast for dinner the other night.
I haven't had French toast in a while.
I make a mean French toast, but this is still not what we're supposed to be talking about.
Of course, it's French. French are just mean. So, but I poo-poo on resolutions because mostly it's like, but caveat. However, time is a construct, but it is a construct that we understand as human beings. And so having goals to try to accomplish in a set time frame that's measurable is perfectly great. So I like to talk about goals and inspirations, but Tyra, do you do resolutions for New Year?
I do. Well, I always have I should say intentions, like things that I want to focus on.
Okay, I like that. I like intent.
Something that's a little, more, I'm not going to fail at.
I guess what I hate and what it sounded like you kind of was it really is that commercialism. It's join the gym, lose weight, quit smoking. Yeah, okay. But hey, going into the new year, everybody feels like a fresh start. The holidays are over. The reason it feels like a fresh start in the new year is because we're past all the crazy societal drama of Thanksgiving and Christmas that nobody needs in their life. And now we're breathing again. And it feels like we're born again. And so I also don't do, but I like that intent. So we actually set intent last year coming into this year. And that's why we're starting together at a con in a week from now. So the next show we do will be 2 days before we go to Chattacon. It sounds like.
I think Valencia's on to something.
Yes. Valencia says, my resolution is to be better prepared for Dragon Con than I was last year. Buy stuff early. Depends on what stuff it is. But yeah, because con stuff, get there Thursday and go to America's Mart doesn't even open until Friday afternoon, I think, right now. But yeah, get in line when it opens. But yeah, if it's like trip stuff,
you got to get cosplay stuff open. I've come up with a cosplay for next year outside of my Jedi, which I will not wear in the summer in Georgia. I love you, Shane, but no. I'm going to do Maid Marian from Robin Hood.
Okay. I like it.
So, it's simple. It's easy. I've already found the cosplay for it, so I'm excited. So my other intention is I'm going to play more World of Warcraft next year because I just ordered the expansion. And my new computer arrives tomorrow.
Hopefully it gets there before the weather does.
It
really,
is already
Friday
delayed
is the
a day.
weather.
It's in Atlanta already.
Yeah, Valencia says yes, cosplay stuff or theme related stuff. Absolutely. Last year we talked about this on the show that in 2023 I said I would do 24 speaking engagements. By the end of 2024, because it's just random numbers, whatever. Ended up just setting that intent. Mm-hmm. I started asking. I started pushing. Discovered for myself. Obviously, I didn't find it. It's their 50th year. I didn't discover it, but I found Chattacon. I never realized it was out there, and did that. I did a lot of new cons last year for me. New to me cons, and branched out.
You did Conjuration.
Yep, that was the first time officially got to work Conjuration or perform at Conjuration, and that was really cool. A number, of course, lecturing gigs with you. I could go down the list. I don't have.
You did Alcon. You're going to do Alcon this year too, right, Charles?
We might as well call it "Be Awesome Together" Con, because we make that con happen, together. It's a lot of fun.
I run a mean cosplay contest. Is all I'm going to say.
She really does. Oh my God! I never really realized went into cosplay judging, and I had one person. Now she really was serious about cosplay, but she judged me because I'm like, it looks cool. It looks like you put a lot of work. She's like, there's these rivets and these. I mean, she wasn't that angry now, but I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm ignorant. I had this big smiler.
I'm just the MC that they drafted to be in here.
I'm just kind of sitting here sipping my coffee. My bad.
Which reminds me, I gotta go through the cosplay guidelines with my husband and get them better.
Oh, that's right. You were gonna revise that. So yeah, absolutely gonna do more. My intent this year, personally, is to do a video on TikTok, or if it goes away, I guess I'll find something else. We'll figure it out. It's not going away, people. It's just not. We can talk about that later. It's just not. But but to be creative, to get out of my own way, to get out of my own head, and do more content creation of my own. Short form. It's still going to be me long-winded. 5 minutes is usually my average, but it's not a full podcast. It's not a discussion fully with somebody. It's more or less just here's my thought for today, and get out. And man, it's been where Steven Adams and I started playing TikTok tag, where we're tagging each other in a question. I will clear it with you before I do one, because I do not want to have you feel pressured and guilty, and like 3 weeks later going, I still haven't responded. So I will make sure you're ready to do one if I tag you. But it's a conversation out of time, and it's really cool because I'm commenting. I told a story directly for him and to him that he was a part of, and shared that on my thing and tagged him and said some kind words about him, which is what I like to do. And then he took that, tagged me back, and responded with a whole thought process on compliments and insecurities, and then it inspired me to say something. So I gave a talk on gratitude and giving good words and accepting good words, and then he came back with it really is. Go watch our 4-part miniseries. You'll love it. But it is just these different flavors that you do not have to have the other videos to understand it, but we feel a connection.
Right.
And for us, it's a flowing conversation. And it really is just hitting where people are liking it more and sharing it. And it's good.
Okay. So your resolution for the new year should be to get Tyra on TikTok.
Okay.
I mean, TikTok with Tyra just goes, sounds so good.
It really does. It really does. Well, you know what? No matter what, Chattacon, we'll get you on there at Chattacon, because we'll start with some coffees and say, now it's time for TikTok with Tyra. And
you got to teach me how to use my own mics.
Yeah. You mean these mics?
Yes.
That I carry in my pocket all the time now. I do not. I have. It's actually not a lot. It didn't feel like a lot, but I have my wallet, my keys, my challenge coin that I earned from the Atlanta Fire Department, my iPods, earbuds, whatever, iPod, you know what I'm saying.
Those things you stick in your ears.
The little, and then my newer microphones, because they fit right into my pocket. I'm a big dude, I have big pockets. And let me tell you, I just whip them out all the time to do the videos and stuff. But then today for a meeting, I just plugged it in my laptop, and I had another meeting with Brian and somebody else. He wanted to sit across the room, so I just gave him one and he put it in his pocket, and they could hear him clear. I love these microphones so much. And that was, Tyra really urged me on, inspired me, motivated me. Because there's one thing to say, we want to hear your content. There's one thing to say, hey, you should do more. Hey, here's all the logic behind it. And you have to find the right motivation. And for me, it was the belief of others in me, and that helped a lot. But then it was the toys. And when she bought these microphones, you bought 2 versions of them.
I did. I have both still.
Or something?
Yeah, about mid-year.
Yeah, and because you got them on a sale or whatever, and you got them.
Oh, they're cheap.
Then we went to Southern Fried right after you got them, so I got to play with them. Like, ooh, and I started getting hooked on that Dragon Con.
You tried to steal them.
I didn't steal them. I stole the box that came in by accident.
That's true.
But she loaned them to me for Dragon Con, and same thing. I just carried them around. I mean, it's literally this model. I bought the same exact model. And I carried them around in my pocket and did videos at Dragon Con the whole weekend, and then reluctantly gave them back. What mics are those? It's a newer CM28CX. Typically they run about $120 somewhere in there, right around that.
What was the super sale I got them on?
I think you got it for like 70. My Black Friday sale was about 80, somewhere in there. So I got them at a decent price. I will say they are on TikTok. I'm not afraid of ordering stuff through TikTok, but honestly, when it comes to stuff like this, like actual technology that I want to use, I'm going to go to Amazon. And a lot of times it is more pricier, but I know at least with Amazon for 100%, they back it. So even if it's some dude selling me a piece of crap, Amazon will fix it for me. I don't know if TikTok will. I've not had that issue. Oh, by the way, Tyra, I think you'll understand this reference.
Yes.
For the TikTok shop is the Harriet Carter of this current generation. Think about it. Harriet Carter. Do you know that little catalog?
No.
Holy crap. All right. I need people to help me out here. So my grandparents got it. My parents got it. You know JCPenney catalogs, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Harriet Carter. Well, okay. You know Sky Mall?
Yes.
Okay. Harriet Carter was Sky Mall for poor people. And it was always this tchotchke junk and these and you got sent this catalog in the mail and you go through it and it'd be like a t-shirt that says I was stupid. So yeah. And I mean, it's just these tchotchkes. TikTok shop is Harriet Carter for this generation.
Now
it's
I
just
understand.
a ton of tchotchke. Yeah. So,
so some quick catch up. It is the newer CM28 wireless. I got them for $80 as well. So you did just as well as I did.
Yeah, cool.
And let's see, vintage macaroni. I want to know what cons you go to in Florida because we would love to go to Florida, but we need some help finding them. We've been to Pensacon, and I think next year we might try that one. Yeah, it's been a while. It was right after 2021, I think.
They treated us like kings. This one, I think it was 2021 because Tony and I were doing the con mods then, and we were trying to become convention moderators for them, and then we pay our people to do, and we didn't get a chance to really network with them, but they did treat us like they gave us a great stage and great. I still have the video, and a lot of my promo photos came from Tyra taking pictures of us on stage and that kind of thing.
Side job.
Yeah. So I would love to go back to that one, but yes, I'm with you. Vintage macaroni, if you could. It is all about cost factor. So that is a intent I have set this year. Is I'm going to have merch of some kind, and there can be a we in it. I won't speak for anybody else, but I'm not excluding anybody else either. You'll be awesome together, kind of merch and whatever else. But I am making merch for myself that I can sell at conventions, and it's an enamel pin, and it's an owl with my mohawk and my hockey jersey, and it says "Wise and Nerdy" on it, and yeah, I'll show it to you. I got it. It looks amazing. It's drawn well. We got a friend of mine. Really tweaking it and getting it right, and then I think that I did some basic research, but I want to say Sticker Mule would do it right for me.
We are not doing Sticker Mule.
No, we'll talk about that later.
No.
But all I'm saying is I want to have these because I know my friends like Bob Magoo would take a small cut. You know, I'd offer. I mean, he wouldn't take it. I'd offer him to say, hey, can you put this at your table for me as people are coming through to shop with you? And he would do that for us. And then, of course, I want to give away one for the winner of my game show, Fandom Face Off, and then let everybody see it and go, yeah, I have them here, $5, $10, whatever they're going to be, $15 for a pin.
I agree. I have no control right now over anything.
One?
So throw up Vintage Macaroni's last comment. And just to let you know, the con that we went to was Pensacon, and it is a blast. But it is spread out over everywhere. In Pensacola. It is
it's the convention center plus some theaters and some other places. I kind of like it, but at the same time, it's a little rough to walk.
You got to walk.
But
or ride a bus that's packed.
Yeah. Merch is a great way to get the word out and recoup costs. Books, writing a book. That's not on my list yet.
That's on my list.
It's on my long-term list for sure, but
we could write a book together. I do cooperative projects really well.
I hear you. We just gotta get a topic. I mean, I technically have a book I could buy and sell. Like buy it off Amazon at cost and sell it at conventions. That was a cooperative project. Gotcha. I just have to reread it to see if I really,
if you want to.
if I wanted to. I mean, I like what I wrote, but I don't remember what he wrote. And then, you grow and you change, and who knows?
That's true. Valencia, we do hope to have ribbons available. We do have stickers, of which I can't hold them up right now because I don't have one on me. I have one in my desk drawer over there.
Yeah.
But we do have stickers. We hope to have better stickers and hopefully ribbons again.
And yeah, everybody loves tech. I love this. Yeah, full run through. They are the same mics that we did at the volunteer meeting. And yeah, where he took it and walked across the Hilton lobby to the other side, and it was just crystal clear and fun. And yeah,
we had a great time.
So what part of Florida Vintage Macaroni? Because you're talking in Tampa, that's a whole lot harder to get to than maybe Jacksonville. Oh, Jacksonville! Nailed it! I got cousins in Jacksonville.
Ooh.
Are you my cousin? I don't know. Second cousin. Hey, I can't see from the little picture. That can't be my second cousin. I don't know. She's going to claim me now, though. MetroCon. Yeah, okay, yeah. MetroCon in Tampa's good. Yeah, that's a lot far away. Jax. Collective Con and a Bold Matsuri, which are a bit smaller but good crowds. Of course, Orlando's got MegaCon. I mean, Orlando, I gotta have money before I can go do MegaCon, to be honest. Not that they have to pay me, but I have to be able to, this is my living and I can make my travel costs back and then some off this. Yeah. And then people watch the show and go Patreon, those kind of things.
I'm excited. I keep getting turned down at Podfest, but
you know what?
I got to put together a better packet is my problem.
Or maybe they need better bookers. I mean, we'll get to that part of it.
Any excuse I can have to go to Orlando where I could go to the Mouse, I'm going to do.
So, yeah, I definitely, and for me, it's not a strict video a day because that feels like laborious. But I have started Steven. Yeah, Steven. I was trying to remember who said it. So first Wise and Nerdy of the new year, both Joe and Kurt were out, and I already had Steven booked. Joe's always out the first year. I forget. He goes underground weasel hunting or something. But Kurt was going to be Kurt. I don't know what he did. He's talked about camping in a snow cave when he was in Boy Scouts. So I don't know what this weirdo does. I love Joe, but. I know, no kidding. And so Steven Adams came on. We're talking about, but he was nerding out about the idea of second brain. And it's really that note taking, that there's tons of apps out there and some of them can organize stuff for you. And he used Obsidian, which I downloaded, haven't played with, but he's talking about like the idea that Taylor Swift always has something to record it. You know, if she hears start singing to her phone and has a notebook to write stuff down, that kind of idea. So I've definitely, even though I know to make notes and I've done stuff before, and I haven't actually, I look over like my backpack here, it's not, but I have books that I keep in my backpack, and I really need to start keeping my notebook in my back pocket because I like writing versus typing, oddly enough. But I have actually started using Keep Note, and so I'm as I think about an idea, when I can't, when I can write it down, I write it down. So I'll have a TikTok. Okay, what I want to talk about today? I'll talk about this thing, unless of course somebody else jumps in and tags me. But it really is about consistency and quality for me. And honestly, it's about me just getting out of my way. Believe it or not, this bull in a china shop likes to hide in the back pasture more than you think I do.
We both do. I mean, it's true. I'm an introvert at heart.
I wish somebody came up with a really good term one day on social media for introverted extrovert. And it's a mixture of the words, but I can never linguistically get it right in my head of what it was. Cause I'm like, oh, that makes sense instantly. And I can't, I can write down the words. I can't figure out what they mash together, but it's like exactly it. I love being out. I love performing. I love doing things. But when I'm at home or, alone, whatever, then I'm just done. I'm right here in my head or whatever. And I love talking all the time, but I will not make those videos like I should.
Charles.
So I do it now. Yes.
We know you love talking.
Yes.
we both do. Let's just be honest.
I will never go to Talkers Anonymous because
I
don't need to admit it. I know it.
We're not. Yeah. We're here.
So, yes. Podfest, Vintage Macaroni is something about going next week. Now, here's what I was going to say about that. Bobby, put me on stage. I can command a room. Put me in a conversation with 2 or 3 others. And I was like, that is true. I've seen that happen with Bobby a lot, where he and Rob and I, maybe a few others will be talking. And he's sitting there like, you gonna jump in, bud? What you doing over there? And he's just some of it's absorbing. Some of it's probably just all of us creators love watching entertainment. And I've had many a conversation where somebody's talking to me like, "Are you still there?" It's like, "Oh yeah, no, this is the best podcast I've ever heard. Keep talking, go. I love you're on a roll. Come on, So I get that, but it's interesting that Bobby. I think he finds more of a gray area or middle ground than that statement suggests. But I've seen that in people. So what are you going to do, Tyra?
Yes, sir.
To reach your goals, to push yourself, to write that book.
Yeah, writing is the focus. Creativity is the focus. And I've been using a program. I can't remember the name of it. Isn't that awesome? That a writer friend of mine turned me on to try to establish some goals and get a real clear vision of where I want to go, not just with my writing, but with life, to try to get that worked out. And so my big plan for this week is to finish up going through, looking at what I have to do. I take a calendar and I literally mark off weeks that I can't do stuff. Because one of the things I found last year, and this worked really well for me, was that I finally got honest about the fact that, that week after grades are due, I'm not going to write the best American novel. I'm going to sit on the sofa and doom scroll and watch videos and crochet. Maybe read a book if I'm feeling intellectual, but I'm not going to be worth a darn. So, but I realized that. And so now I
see what you did there. You're going to crochet, but you're not going to darn. Gotcha.
I'm not going to, I didn't know. Oh,
you're not going to be worth a darn, but you're going to sit there. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I made my own bad joke and didn't know it. So I'm going to finish that up tomorrow and Friday and start working the plan. I've got to write. I've got a story that's burning a hole in my brain, and the market is hot for that type of what I'm writing. It's a cozy fantasy, and I've got to do it. And I've got social media books that I need to put out there, and I have to. And I think both of us have a tendency to dream big, and then things get in our way.
Can I change those words? We have big goals that we know we can achieve, and we get in our way.
Yes. Sometimes life gets in our way.
Well, okay, there is that a little bit, but yeah.
There's some uncontrollableness, but
sure.
I wrote down a long time ago on my board here, recognize that most days will go wonky and not go as planned. And then, so you try to prepare for what do you do when it goes wonky? Because when things are not, something abnormal happens or an emergency happens or there's a bump in the road, that's when I don't get back on the horse, and I have a hard time with that. And I had that last year with my podcast. I've got episodes I need to edit. And when Shane went to the emergency room, that threw me for a loop, and I just never could get my brain back into doing what I needed to do. So,
yeah. There's a thing with hypnotism that if you interrupt somebody talking, it gets them off track and gets their brain on what you're saying, and it's that sleight of hand and those kind of things. I think I saw that on The Mentalist or whatever. But I get that. It's like if you're doing something, all of a sudden something big really shifted you hard, it almost changes the process of everything.
Yeah.
And I guess
that's had it happen year after year.
Yeah. And the new Tyra just has to go, yeah, but I'm still going to edit this thing in the ER while I wait on him for 8 hours because ERs are slow. It's not Shane's fault. ERs are slow. There's photo. Actually, I think we used them for my 20th anniversary celebration show, but there's a photo of me in the OB room waiting for my second child to be born, headphones on, laptop, editing away, doing my stuff because it was an 8-hour ordeal. But let me tell you, when showtime was showtime, I was ready and I put everything away.
I was about to say, you put the stuff away, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I did at one point try to talk my wife into live streaming the birth. Funnily enough, she was like, yeah, but they're not going to let you. And she's right there like, me. Nowadays, I mean, this is... Crosby is 18 years old now, so almost 20 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
And I could have made ways to make it happen, but yeah, they were all front. Nowadays, if you're not doing videos from everything you do everywhere, everybody thinks you're weird, right? It's like, You're at church. Why is your phone not out taking a selfie with the priest? Come on,
You got to prove you were there.
That's a little bit of our society, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And what's interesting is I really stepped back some from social this past year for about
a minute.
A minute. Well, I haven't posted nearly as much as I used to. And so I'm trying to get more into the groove, get a schedule up. And I want to start a newsletter. That's my other big thing is I'm starting a newsletter this year. Actually, I'm starting a newsletter this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to be specific as Yoda would want me to be.
I talked with Kaz here recently, and there's a lot of ideas, a lot of different things that we want her to do with Be Awesome Together with the DragonCon Digital Media Track. She's a volunteer for the track, and her thing is organization and growth, basically, as far as the admin of it. And she and I don't want to put words in her mouth because I don't remember the conversation verbatim, but I remember we talked about newsletter. She mentioned something about newsletters. Like, funny you should say that. We actually just set this stuff up for DragonCon. I always have to specify digital media track. It's not DragonCon as a whole. It's our section of
our
DragonCon.
little tiny track.
And it was really, I'm going to use it for those creators who do not like to get in Discord and won't participate there, but still need to know about track info. But when she said something along the lines about a thing, I said, hey, I have the tools. You want to go at it? Tyra can help guide with formatting and stuff and make it look brilliant. And that would be a fun thing to put out for Be Awesome Together. Because I don't know how well it works, but I've definitely seen creators, if you get on the mailing list, hey, last month, we're at the end of this month. So in December, if you missed it, here's the last 4 episodes we did, and this is little blips about them and why why you should listen.
Here's the links.
And here's the links. So I know it's something that can happen. And TV's Travis is in.
Yo.
I got to message you after this show, Travis. I've got something burning on my soul for you. I'll get to you. And Bobby said, with social media crumbling, going back to emails and websites is the best way to get info out to people reliably. Okay. I mean, here's my thing. I trust people. You got to surround yourself with the people who can do the things that you're not the specialist at. And from the day email was invented, I loved emails, communication. I refuse to get on. I don't refuse to get on people's lists because I'm hoity-toity. I've been on people's lists. I just never click it. It fills up my inbox. It's not Tyra. She hadn't done a newsletter yet, but let's see if it's even Tyra.
Oh, yes.
I will. Well, okay, not since I've been around.
Not for me. I've done it for organizations.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Nobody's putting you down. Stop bringing 2025 resolution. Don't bring guilt in my conversations. No guilt here. Guilt.
Fine.
And but it would be okay. In all honesty, I will subscribe to help her out because she's my friend, and I'm gonna. The chances of me opening it are slim because I'm.
He's
just
not going to help my open rate.
Yeah, I'll try. I want to see it. Whatever. Very great guy I work with through One EMS and the conventions and whatnot. He's a chaplain for EMS, and he's got a huge heart. And he sends out on Mondays. He sends out just this one pager, and I've read 3 out of the 20 that I've gotten from him. And I try because it's really good what he writes. It's just it's not my thing. My whole long story is when it's not my thing, I'm not going to do it because it's not going to be great. But now I'm not speaking for Kaz. Kaz says I've been creating newsletters for work. That's what it was. We were talking about her work and things she's doing there. And I said, well, if you feel froggy, let's talk. We got you. But let's just say she's an expert at doing newsletters. And she goes, Charles, I'm telling you, this is what you need to do. And here's what I've done with it. And here's what I can do for you. That's the kind of person I'm looking for. That's the kind of person all day long. Oh, you can handle Twitter. You can handle Mastodon. You can handle Blue Sky all day long. You want TikTok? I'm your guy. I'll handle my own TikTok. Don't touch my TikTok. I'll do that myself. But all the other stuff, got you. Let's see. Travis says discoverability is the hardest part of any of this, whether it's newsletter, social posts, YouTube, or Twitch.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that I think we need to have Tales by Bob back on and talk about newsletters one night. Maybe find some other people that really utilize them. One of the things he's doing for discoverability is trading newsletters with people. Like somebody else has a newsletter, they'll have them as a guest in their newsletter with a link on how to join it.
Yeah, and then it is the social media, is the getting out, talking about doing videos today. I want to tell a quick story in a minute. No quick stories, but I want to tell a less long story in a minute about what's going on at work and why I'm happy about it. But today was a really productive, long day. And then we went to dinner. And I'm like, man, I felt that I've only done a video a day since right after Christmas, right around Christmas, and started working on it. Basically, when I knew nobody else was going to buy me these microphones, because I bought them on Black Friday, didn't open them, just because they're on my Christmas list. So just in case somebody bought them. So the day after Christmas, I opened them up and I started doing videos.
That's hilarious.
And from my car across the parking lot to the restaurant, I think the video is 32 seconds. It's not very long. But I said, hey, man, I'm so excited about to walk into dinner before I do the show. It'd Be Awesome Together is back after our holiday hiatus. Tyra and I are going to talk about resolutions and inspirations and this, that. Come watch us. Here's how you can find us. Said the link tree. Told people why they should watch us, and done. And then I sat down at the table as we ordered appetizers. I edited the little captions and posted it and tagged you in it. And it was just that. It's just doing that. But already I'm already feeling that I need to get a video done today. What am I going to talk about?
Well, and I think the other thing you have to do is, and Channing Sherman and I talk about this, Fluffy Bottom himself, and I talk all the time about it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that holds me back from video is that I am so conscious about what I look like, what I sound like, that, I just need to do it.
Yeah. I mean, my hair, I'll be honest, nobody else knows it but me, but my hair's been a mess lately. It's really off balance. It's irritating me, but I just have to jump in and do it.
It's slightly that way. I understand. It's like as a woman, if I don't have on makeup, and there are guys that wear makeup, bless you. You have better eyeliner than I do, most of them. But if I don't have on makeup, I'm like, I don't want to do a video. If my hair is not right, I don't want to do it. So I just have to get rid of the excuses. We're having an entire conversation with our Twitch audience that's going on. Bobby was talking about figuring out short form video platform, but waiting to see what happens with TikTok. And I'm going to tell you, don't wait to see.
Yeah, it's true. I do want to throw this out there real quick since you mentioned Bobby. It says T-minus 11 days for big TT. Buddy, if you're not TTing for 11 days, you need to see a doctor.
Can somebody tell me what that is? Because I don't know.
TikTok going away, but it's a urination joke. Thank you, Tyra, for not being a 13-year-old little boy. I appreciate you.
Not.
All right.
It won't go away.
No, it's not going to go away. But yeah, he was waiting, and you're right. You don't wait. And Travis in the same.
You can use short form videos on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. There's so many places you can use them that it's not just a TikTok thing.
Yeah, and that's fair, Bob. If you already have a platform on YouTube, I would do that. And if he did some TikTok videos. He was prepping for a change that didn't quite come in fruition in 2024, I don't believe. But he had started toying around. But that goes back to doing what you're good at. If you feel comfortable on a newsletter, on YouTube, on anywhere, you will find your audience. And Travis is right. He says just post to all. Now here's my thing with Instagram Reels. Yeah, is minute and a half. Come on. Don't be the Twitter of video. Don't lock us down to an insanely short video reference. You're not keeping up, Instagram. I mean, come on. I got 3 minutes. At least minimum. You want me? It's in my writer. I get my green M&Ms and I get my 3 minutes minimum. Come on.
I don't want more than 3 minutes.
Oh, I'll do. I like TikTok. TikTok gave me 10 minutes real early on. Like when they launched it, I got it and I was like, "Oh, TikTok, you've got me for life, baby." I was doing 9 minute and 59 second videos a lot.
But most people I don't want to listen to for that long.
I know. I know.
So YouTube Shorts was 60 seconds for a long time. They've gone up. And I'll be honest, if you're on YouTube, do Shorts. They're going to drive people to your channel.
Yeah.
What are we using to create the...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, Bobby was asking what we were using to create the videos. And CapCut, I think, is one of the ones my students use. I use Canva. You can also do it within the app, which TikTok
Wait, you can edit video in Canva?
Oh, yeah. That's what I create all our reels in.
I didn't realize that.
Every reel, not many that the direct digital media track has been created in Canva.
Nice. Bobby, I will say, CapCut is great. I don't like it enough to pay for it. Because at the time I wasn't doing a video a day, so maybe, but their caps are great, lots of great fonts to choose from. But they moved caption into the paid model, which I get because I was mainly using it for that. They've got some cool tools on CapCut. It is still owned by TikTok, right? It's a ByteDance company.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, CapCut is a TikTok product, and it links in really well. But it can go anywhere. But it's not like, okay, if TikTok goes away, CapCut doesn't go away. It's a different line of product, but yeah, it's a TikTok company. It's a great tool, but what I've done for my own productivity is I just video it with the regular video camera app on my phone, and get it every time. I laugh at myself. Nobody's around me, but I laugh at myself because every time I plug in the microphone, I clip it on. I always do a video, go check 1, 2, 3, check it, and then I'll play it back to make sure it sounds right before I do my video.
You should. Everything.
Right, you really should, but it's like, yeah, I'm such a moron professional. I don't know.
No, but that's just smart.
It just terrifies me to go. Because I'm a one-off guy, and now I can do repetitive stuff, and that becomes more of a lecture because you can tell I've said it and I've refined it. Versus that, for me, I like the TikTok of, oh, I'm living in this moment, and this is just what's on my mind right now, and I'm working through it. And it just terrifies me to go, I just said to myself what was something I really needed to hear, and it was great. Oh, and the audio didn't work. And now I have to go try to recreate it. But I know for me, it won't have the same energy because I've already had that fresh discovery energy. Now it's a lesson versus a shared moment.
It's true. Can you throw up Bobby's thing, the thing with the TikTok app?
Yes, hold on. CapCut, that's great. But if you just record it on your phone, and then I go into TikTok and I upload it, they have decent editing tools. I actually do like CapCut to slice if I need to cut things out. It's a little faster for me because I used it more. But the captions are just as good now on TikTok. And that's all I do nowadays is just record a one-off because I don't edit much. Go to TikTok, get the captions, and then scroll through and see any weird words. I don't even watch the whole thing anymore. Just check for like Tyra's name. It called you Tyre, Tire, tonight. So I had to go change it. I am not a
Tyre.
No, I just don't enunciate. That's how that goes. So it can be as easy as you want it to be. You can actually record it directly into TikTok if you really wanted to, but that's going to be the most trusted process, raw and real video you're going to get. Yeah. How about you can't edit? Okay, which one?
If you'll do the thing with that one. Yeah. So yes, I agree that YouTube and Instagram, Facebook do not like the watermark. So a lot of people will just take their TikTok video and throw it on there. Fabulous, unless you already have a big audience and are getting really organic engagement. Probably not going to help you get more if you're just starting out. So make sure that the video that you load up to YouTube and to Facebook, Instagram does not have that watermark, which you can do that in CapCut. It does not insert the TikTok watermark on there.
You actually have the option in CapCut to let it be at the end, which I like it because it comes up with CapCut. But then there's a text I can change, and I put my link tree in there. So I leave that's not a watermark, it's a card. But I leave the card at the end that says made by Cat or whatever. And because that's my promo stuff in it. But yeah, I was going to say that with CapCut, you can do a watermark free one that you can send to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere.
And full run through, our lovely volunteer as well said, what could he do as a game creator? I would use shorts of your game, like grab some of those interesting video clips and just use those. Or if you've got something exciting that happened, like do the lead up moment to it, or do a thing on your equipment. Eventually I'm going to I've been redoing this, by the way. This is also intent for the year. That is going to be a shelf.
So you're going to get rid of all your Hermes bags and put them somewhere else.
First of all, no Hermes bags. I love a good
Balenciaga?
bag. But that's all going to be organized. No, the bags are not going away, but there's going to be a beautiful shelf and wallpaper.
But the goal. So, he mentioned Opus. So yes, full run through. I'm gonna transition to Travis's comment about Opus too. But that's the thing. Opus Cup is AI, right? It'll grab what it thinks it needs to grab. And I think there's another one. I wish I could tell you the name of it because it was designed for gamers specifically to do the vertical video. And I just don't remember the name of the company because it came and went, and I saw, like, oh, cool, I might look into that. And then I didn't mark it. But there was one specifically for gamers that's supposed to help with that. But if you just grab something fun and then
Yeah.
Even though, when playing it, it was just a dumb moment or whatever, but you can go back in for the short form video and do a voiceover, a sports announcement on it, whatever. Well, he was coming around the corner. I don't know what games you play. So like Fortnite, he was coming around the corner and all of a sudden bunny ears jumped out and shot him to death, just something
that
fun.
would be fun. Yeah.
Right. Or like she said, describing, hey, this is what, there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. It is a little bit more, I think it's more difficult for gamers to do that because you got to think about the description of it, not showing off, unless you have one of those moments that you win the game or something crazy happened or that, those definitely work. And then Travis is talking about he uses Opus clips to clip a lot of he takes his long form videos, you haven't seen in other shows, and Opus clips cuts it and pulls moments. So those are long form interview shows. So there's a lot for it to pick from. It hates me. Like he did that for our Dragon Con panel. Mm-hmm. Every time I talk, it'd show him or Phil. Opus Cut hated me being in the middle talking for some reason.
Y'all are hilarious. Funny. He says he also does stuff with DaVinci Resolve, and I don't know that one.
That is a free video editing tool. I know it's on the Mac and the PC. I don't know about mobile devices. It's a movie editing level program that's easy to understand and use.
Okay, so it has to be really easy for me because Bobby's out here using Premiere Pro to put in captions.
Oh, yeah, no. TikTok Direct will do good captions for you if you want to do that.
And by the way, he also says Opus is smart for leaving you out of the frame.
Yeah, that is that. So Opus is an AI-based editing software. It's $300 a year. It's not a ton a year.
Happening. Yeah. Nope.
Hey. We're here to have goals, intent, and inspiration, not negative Nelly over here eating all the hay.
I have to pay for the Mac Mini I bought because of what's happening in T-minus 11 days.
So then somebody, not me, but somebody might gift you a subscription to Opus. But yeah, I
have to figure out how to use it.
I kind of agree with Bobby. Opus is the only intelligent AI in existence. Because amazed, but it is funny. And there's a free tier. You get hour or two a month for free, and that's your upload. So if I use it for one EMS when I'm doing those 10, 15-minute interviews, I'll go to the free one and throw it up there and let it cut some moments out. And it doesn't just cut the moment out, it captions it for you. And it takes, like mine's a wide angle interview lens, and it takes it and makes it singular like my video here, and then pops to your video when you're talking, and it shifts very intelligently and puts really good captions on there. And then it tells you like a rating of how effective this should be on social media and a description of what went on, or sometimes even a transcript of what was said in the video, so you can pull from that and make your descriptions when you share it.
Okay, so I'm going to wrangle us back to what we're supposed to be talking about, resolutions and intentions in this new year and planning. So obviously this is all about trying to get Tyra excited about doing video.
Or everything. Get excited. It's exciting.
In that intention. So, so you guys are going to have to help me. I'm still on StreamYard, by the way, TV's Travis. I got to figure that out by next year.
I'm going to help you figure that out because I'm getting off of it by April. Is when my subscription runs out. I had to go
ahead and do the thing. I'm still paying monthly, so I just need to make the hop and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scary. Tyra doesn't want to take time to figure out all this tech stuff that I should know.
Old Noodle said, "You got this, Tyra."
He did not mean old. Trust me. Vintage is so much better.
It is just, hey, they got to get used to my branding. If this is the first time live, I understand. I like to mess with names. Oh, okay. Laughing. I think exclamation marks mean they're laughing. 2 exclamation marks might mean they're angry. 3 means they're laughing. That's what I'm saying. Bobby says, another intention for me is I'm going to create a secondary video studio in my basement so I can have an even cooler background for when I do guest appearances on other streams. I love it.
I need to, so one of mine is to actually get my green screen up eventually, but if I get the shelf replaced, then it'll look pretty and I won't have to have a green screen.
If you ever want one, I have one I can give you. I have the whole frame and everything. Okay, yeah.
I have one right over there. No,
I just don't. I like
take
natural
the time
backgrounds.
to pop it up.
Now I am going to be redoing this whole studio in the next month or two. So we'll see.
I did get a new ring light that I'm really super excited about.
Yeah.
So I'll show you all that eventually. I'll show Charles later.
What would that cost to ship? I don't know. I'll find out, Travis, and I'll send it to you. We'll figure this out.
We'll figure it out, or they're not that expensive. Yeah. We'll figure that out, TV Travis. But we'll take it out on you because we need help.
I'll work the crap out of you at Dragon Con, sir. That'll be for sure.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about like our personal kind of, career stuff in a way, because both of us want to kind of transition into doing this more as a career. What's some like personal goals you have for you and your life outside of behind the microphone?
Well, okay, that is like only 1% of my life. Everything is on camera, but everything's a show. I have decided that I'm going to really be intentional on not saying negative things about others, but mostly my wife. It's, as you do in reality, we just hit 24 years married,
darn,
25 together. I think it's the number. And, so it's not like it's we're all the time at each other or whatever. But it's, you get comfortable, and
That's true.
I have to focus here at home because that's where it comes out the most. You're the most comfortable, most right. You'll say you'll use loose and not thought about phrasing more at home than you would. I mean, Tyra and I can say just about anything to each other, but I probably would think more about how I said something to her than possibly I do with my wife. So if I do it there, it'll get better everywhere else, because I want to eliminate negativity out of what I bring or what I even think about, and go, what's the solution? What's the positive? What does it matter to me? Because, if it doesn't matter to me, I can just go, sure, and not get all angry or absorb things. And in parenting, we both, and my wife and I both do it. We don't say ugly things about each other to our kids. It's not like, he's blah, blah, blah. But we do, because we've just always been these honest people, and it's probably not the best thing, but we do talk about our criticisms of what they're doing. Like, part of it is to teach our kid. Well, I'll speak for myself. Part of it is why I say, I'm like, okay, she's doing this thing, and this is why it's really wrong, and I want you to learn from it. Well, at the same time, they're stuck in the middle, right? Everybody has their own relationship with everybody else. And she said some of the same things about me. I know, sometimes I'm around, sometimes I'm not. But it's that kind of thing. It's okay. Instead of going, hey, don't be like my wife and your mother who's pissing me off right now and who's really doing a wrong thing that we all know is not right to do. I should focus on what I want them to learn. I think I've done it to you, Tyra. If you go, well, I don't want to fill in and then you fill in the blank, I'll stop you. Then what do you want? You can't get what you don't want. What do you want? And now I'm trying to do that in a positive manner of going, instead of going, here's a lesson, paint the picture, learn the lesson. Well, there's a lot of coloring in that lesson that might distract from the lesson. I can just go, hey, when you are an adult in a partnership, married, raising kids, whatever situation is, you should think about these factors, the things I would want her to do, instead of pointing out the negativity. So that's my personal thing of trying to eliminate the negative of ragging on people and saying negative things, and just get what I want. And I want Tyra to be a millionaire along with me, so we can just rock the stage every, twice a month. We'll travel the world.
I'll buy Shane an eternal membership to Dragon Con if that happens. So mine is to have more adventures with my husband. We had so much fun at Disney.
Good.
And to really do things that can create the opportunities for us to have quality time together. Now,
I don't know that. I was going to
make so bad, Charles. It's not late enough. Thank you very much. But we're at Disney, and I'm realizing that we love it here. It's magical. It was wonderful. It got us both out of our heads, and there's something to be said for that. I mean,
talking about big goals. My big goal is I want to make it to that level. Yeah, that's really good. I want to make it to the level of celebrity that I get walked around Disney, and I get to go ride the rides, and and go and see the special thing. You know,
I just want to be able to afford Disney Vacation Club and to go like twice a year.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Well, because it's too hot to go all the time.
Yeah, no. The first time my kids were in public school, and because before they homeschooled, so we could go in nicer times, like into September, where it's gorgeous, is about to turn fall for Orlando and all this other stuff. No, they were in public school, so we went. Oh, I don't know, the first or second week in June. And right after school let out, so there's 1 million people, and the second you step out of air conditioning, you're drenched in sweat. So
it's true.
Yeah, no.
So throw up that last comment. Yeah, speak it into existence. And I actually have that written a lot of places. In the
Feudal Noodle said it.
Vintage Macaroni said it. And it's something that Travis Kelce actually talks about, because if ever a man spoke something into existence, it's him. And just the idea of having it in your brain and working at it and believing it and moving forward. And yeah, I do believe in speaking it into existence. And
because what you think about, you bring about. And I know that's a phrase, that's a motivational cliche, but it is. If you are driving, and this is a Georgia reference, but if you're driving down the road and a deer pops out and all you do is stare at the deer, there's a good chance you're going to steer right into the deer, you know? But if you're like, oh,
that is
I'm going
true.
to look at where I'm trying to go and what I'm wanting to do, folks, so I want to be safe, you're more likely to hit the brakes, slow down. You might not avoid the wreck, but you're not going right into it, you know?
I can tell you what I did.
What you did?
Sped up and swerved around it.
There you go.
It was probably the best driving I've ever done in my life. And it was hilarious because I did not know deer were on that road, and my students told me. And that very night, one jumped across in front of me, and I swung between.
So your students spoke it into existence?
They did. And I managed to maneuver between the buck and the doe. Didn't hit anything.
Nice.
But never could do that. I was younger then. I had better reflexes.
Yeah. No, I was riding my motorcycle one day and I saw a deer start to come out, and I started just revving the engine. You know, I was like, "Don't you do it! Don't you do it!" And they stopped. It was good. It was like, whatever I could do to break up the pattern, flip lights, honk the horn, you know, whatever it is, go the other way. Do not keep coming this way, because we're both gonna die. I don't want that.
Yeah, no. Okay, we got 2 things we need to talk about because we're at the 9 o'clock hour. So if we're go ahead. We're not.
I want to share what I do. I want to, because I know where you're going, and don't wrap it up. 2 weeks, our people deserve at least an extra 30 minutes.
That's true, and I do too.
So here comes a long story. Now I want to talk about why intent matters, and even when you can't see the results immediately or over a long period of time, or you don't exactly know why you're doing something, you just hold on to that ultimate goal.
What he's saying is Yoda knew what he was talking about.
Yes, whatever Yoda said. I think he said you're a wizard, Luke. So Leia has a sock. That's how she got away from Darth Mordor. Mordor. I just mixed up a third one in there. Mordor. So anyway, Tyra, don't let me go nuts like that. Sorry. All right.
I'd like to apologize to our listening audience.
I love this one. Use the force and prosper.
Well, that one's truth. I like the next one too.
Yeah. Use the force, said Gandalf. So none shall pass at Jabba the Hutt. A long time ago, I caught the vision for myself of being on stage, playing to huge crowds. Didn't know what that meant. Just said, that's my goal. And for decades, I've been moving towards that goal. And I've taken jobs that I'm like, I just have to have the money, but then I'm learning things in that job that move me towards my goal. I ended up learning spreadsheets, and like, this is the most uncreative thing you could ever do. But in the time over, the word was decades, right? Over decades, that bigger picture starts to come into view of where you've been and how close to your goal you're getting. And I can go, oh, without telling another side story, learning those spreadsheets got me to this point, which puts me next to my goal. And just finding that resonation, right? That's the difference between feeling bad and good. I feel bad about my job, I feel good about my job. Well, that can be a lot of factors, right? But does it resonate? Am I doing something that, even though I don't love it, it does feel like I'm supposed to do it right now. And that's been me over the last couple of years. Actually, I'm wearing my logo right now, Trinity EMS. I was a chief operations officer, and I built it, and I got to do something I spoke into existence a long time ago. I'm always right. That's what I spoke into existence. And for the longest time in EMS, I could do this better. I could do this better. This makes no sense to me. And it was very much like church. I grew up in the church, left the church a long time ago because it didn't make how you do things don't make sense. Same in EMS. It's like, that's so dumb. Why wouldn't you do it this way? And then I got the opportunity. And in that moment, this is one of the few moments of my life I knew was a pivot point. In the moment, I was like, it's time to put up or shut up. And did I really believe that I could do something different? Did I really think I could affect lives in a way that would matter in a field that mattered to me? And I said, it's time to find out. Fortunately, I was right, and I did do it better. But I was scared, but also brought the Dragon Con in me to it and built community. And that's one of the first things I instituted. And when I think of your most stuffy type office building and mix it with a bunch of drunken cowboys, that's EMS, right? And none of that goes, let's be on Discord and have a online chat community. But that's what I brought in to our company, and it made a difference. And I brought in basically videos and podcasting. And even though it wasn't called that, I was using that to reach people when I couldn't just be there with them. And it made a difference. And it made such a difference that this week I got, in the greatest way possible, got repositioned to where the parts that weren't resonating with me, the parts that I wasn't the sharpest at, the best at, I was overloaded. The full day-to-day operations of what we were doing in this company, it was just not for me. It was never something I ever wanted, but I attracted the right person. And his whole goal was always to run his own ambulance company. And he came out of UGA with a master's degree in business. I don't remember the main degree because I remember focusing on what he focused in, the minors he focused in. It was like ambulance finance and operations and HR, hiring and special. This is what we need. This is all the things that I'm not the specialist at. I've realized one more thing about myself. I know I'm a big community builder. I know I'm a big, passionate, believe in you, I can motivate you guy. I have also found that I'm a not literal structure builder, but I'm a structure builder. And over the last 4.5 years, I took this company with the guy who owned it, who now has become my partner in some other things. From it was struggling, but he just, again, he had his vision. He believed no matter what it was sinking. He had just had the other chief just ghosting, just left, gone. And when he came in, the company was in shambles. And he was picking up the pieces, and I came along. But his vision was, I know I can do this and change the world. And he met another world changer in me. And together, we took it to places he never would have gone on his own. Right. And we built a structure that is just, it's going to change the industry because it just does everything different. But I've proven it works over and over again. And now we have a specialist who sees it. And I get to do the administration, which is, for lack of better words, it's like 10 minutes of writing show notes. Okay. It's not writing a novel, but it is like, oh yeah, no, I can do the administration like writing. I can take 20 minutes to write show notes about tonight's show, whatever.
He'll throw it into AI.
Okay. But that's okay in business because there's a lot of technical stuff. Anyway. So yes, a lot of admin, a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of easy organization, which by the way, DragonCon Digital Media Track lives and dies on spreadsheets now.
We just do. So you know. 100%.
So we have, but who knew the most anti-creative thing in my mind in the world would be what powers the thing that I love and is the most creative thing in my life. You know,
you're awesome.
And so it just had been, in a bad and good, last year was a really rough year, both up and down. There's some great moments. There was some really pivotal moments. There was a hard shift that had to happen in my life because I was too comfortable. And my partner well, I guess he's not my owner anymore, but my owner / partner, he, without knowing it, he was with my vision. We were together. We were in unity of going, not only we're going to change EMS, we're going to change the world with EMS. And he knows I'm magic on the mic, and not magic mic, that's different. But he knows that he sees what I'm born to do, and he gets it from a business standpoint. And he's just been, what do we do to make that happen? And it once this pivot point had happened back in this last June, and I came in and I just hard shifted my priorities and the way I saw things. And I was like, I've got to stop letting the little things get me down to the stuff. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I can't do it, but I can find better ways to do it, pass it off, delegate, whatever. And it just got to a really great point that one EMS really has come together. We are about to start raising a lot of money for it.
They're a nonprofit, by the way, supporting the EMS community.
Thank you. Not just we're starting. Okay, if you're interested in nonprofit,
our first responser.
No, you're right. No, it's EMS. You're right. It is one. Well, we support first responder. We're really an EMS. Both Brian and I came through EMS. That's our heart. So, and there's a lot of stuff for fire and a lot of stuff for police.
There is. There's not a lot for EMS.
There's
there really
very little. So that's what we're doing. And we are raising money to put on classes to give people jobs, to build up our industry and do it our way, right? Teach the heart of it, teach what we want, not just the technical, and push them out. And so there's that. And there's been a podcast and media and conferences with that, bringing me fame and rising influence is what I'm trying to say. And so now I get to do administration. I get to do the tech. If you can't imagine, I was born doing tech, right? Bobby and I, you talk about how we hand coded RSS feed. And that's all I have to do for this company. And then I really get to shift into one EMS and build the classes in the school, which also I'm a teacher at heart. So I got to build all that. And I don't know, Tyra, if you really know what goes into building a class and how you have to do those things, but it's kind of difficult.
I might have a few ideas on that.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Especially online classes.
For those you don't know, Tyra is a professor at a university. It's a lot harder for her to do her stuff than for me to do mine.
Yes, mine has to get approved through a Quality Matters thing where I have a 5,000 point checklist.
Yeah, no, I just got to send it to the state. They're like, yeah, you're good. Done. And we'll move on. So I see. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's way. The setup's the hard part. Once it's set up, you're good. As long as you do good, whatever. So I get to do that and focus on that, which has me excited, which also frees me up to do one of the things you're about to announce. But long story long, you keep the focus through all of that, through all the, I don't know, I'm in this job. I went through a bankruptcy where I lost just about I did lose just about everything but my family. But it changed life to a spot I needed to be, didn't know I needed to be. All the hardships, I'm not 20 years, and I'm not getting paid to do this as a living yet. But the word is yet. It's coming. But I have made money. I've made an impact, but I've always kept that focus and that goal. And I believe holding that heart, even through the hardest of times last year and stepping up, like, I am not quitting. I am going to make this happen. I'm going to do what I can do best. And I've always been honest, if I can't do it best, bring in somebody who can. And when we brought that person, showed up. And now, for the first time in my life, I have money behind me. We are literally on the precipice of having, in our terms, a project that is fully funded and we don't have to worry about paying our bills on, and I can show up and do everything I love, which is teach people how to be better human beings through my videos and my voice. And I'm so excited about this year and where it's going to go with all of that.
I'm excited for you too. I think for one EMS is something that the EMS community needs. I was in on some of the first things you guys were doing. And
you're in the ground floor of there, yeah.
And I really believe in it because I think that it's a drastically overlooked community that has so many issues in terms of being a paramedic. Being an EMS is hard on your family. It's hard on your body. It's hard on your soul and your mental capacity and your emotional well-being. And nobody talks about it. We talk a lot about firefighters. We talk about police. But we don't talk about a lot of the paramedics and EMS workers that are on those front lines too, seeing just devastating things and experiencing that. So I think that the fact that you're going to get to focus on that is amazing and wonderful. And I'm excited for you.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So I was excited when we were talking about resolutions and goals, because it just really feels like I'm on first and goal, right? Is that the term, first and goal?
It is. I'm so proud of you.
I'm on the pitch.
You have 4 downs now to do it.
I'm going to slam dunk that puck or something.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It just really, truly feels like not I've made it, but it's like, oh, we're on the first step of the next chapter.
Yeah. I can understand that. I feel like I've been getting older and I've been really focusing on what's next for the last couple of years. And I'm starting to figure out that picture and what goes into it, and writing and speaking and teaching and goes into that. And what we're doing right here feeds into that for me. And so building that platform and that base, building that newsletter, building those audiences to be able to put out content that can support my dreams, support the adventures that I want to have with Shane, is really what's the most important to me this year. And one of the things I've been working on is that we have this mindset that we have to go through hell to get to heaven, and we don't.
Right.
You don't have to be devastated in order to succeed. You can do this as a journey that is about mindfulness and peace and calm. And so I am trying to meditate every day. I'm trying to find the calm in every day. I'm trying to find the breath in every day and really live with intention. And I know that's one of the things that we said, not resolution, but intention, but to live with intention of what am I doing and how is it impacting me? How is it impacting my family? And then how is it impacting the world? So I'm really moving up that Maslow's hierarchy of needs this year and trying to get to self-actualization. I'm not sure what happens after that. I probably become a Jedi. That's it.
You ascend.
Yeah, my year is the year of intent.
Love it. Is that our, hey, Sarah Rose?
Hey.
Is that our joint book? The Burton Pyramid of Digital Intent. Because what you said, you're that motivational growth. Because I'll go ahead and tell you, the book I need to write that's in me that I started writing a while back is understanding who you are by going through the stages of grief, but as an internal.
Oh yeah, no, I agree
looking
with
at your life and those kind of things.
I actually have a book I started on grief and the process of grief. Because I've lost both my parents. We lost all three of our first fur babies, and so much grief. But grief teaches you so much about yourself.
Yeah, and that's why I like the tools to be used. Like it's no, so I won't get into it. We could talk forever, Tyra.
It's true, we do.
Something that I've thought about for a long time is not doing my own convention, because I think it doesn't resonate with me. Right. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of admin, a lot of stuff. Don't want to do that. But something I get so re-energized and so inspired at a concert or at a music festival. I come out going, I'm ready to change the world. This and that. And I know we can do that with our voices and our shows and entertainment. I've always had that kind of picture of a traveling act, of going to like a Coliseum, and instead of music acts, you have. Okay, it's not my own convention, and I don't run. Yeah, okay.
We do it for Dragon Con.
I do, but that's just, for me, that's just the fun part. Dragon Con does the heavy lifting of all the admin of getting the hotels and paying the bills and not fighting with the staff, but dealing with the problems. All I got to do is say, hey, Bobby, here's a microphone. You're on in 5. Good to go. So
see, I've done that other part. I've done 2 conventions before for writers.
Yeah, I will.
I would put on conventions again. I would do it again.
Well, good. I mean, somebody needs to. But this was. I was like, I'm not that guy. Just follows. Okay, comedian act versus music, right? A comedian will come on. They might have an opener, and then they come on and do their show for 2 hours, and that's what we're there for. I went and saw Eddie Izzard. Love Eddie Izzard.
Oh my God,
no opener. Awesome. She just comes out and 2 hours of brilliance. No, right? But I was like, okay, well, that's kind of what we do always, right? We go to cons, we put on our 1 hour show. We come out, no opener, we do our thing. I was like, but what if it's more like a music festival where it's this show, and it just keeps building one on the other, and we get to go through. I was like, man, that's just so much fun. It's like a mini con in a day. And Tyra and I had different visions of different things and talked about things. And with intent, we just wanted to do something different. Existence. And Mark Deal comes along through Bobby Blackwolf, of all people. Because I was like a little mad at Bobby for a second. But Mark was like, hey, I want to do this thing, which is basically the exact same vision that I'd had and something similar to what Tyra had of going, I want to do a one-day thing where we just have live podcast shows, and I was talking to Bobby Blackwolf, and Bobby said, I told Mark you had this idea. Well, I knew Mark said you didn't send him our way because he said maybe Digital Media Track or Dragon Con. Maybe Dragon Con can help with that. I'm like, Bobby, you can't put Dragon Con in this. I was like, well, let me see what you have. In my head, I always get on my friends instantly just for fun.
But now it's a Tyra and Charles thing.
Yeah. And no, it was the Tyra and Charles thing immediately. Mark emailed me. I was like, hey, let's set a meeting with Tyra. We're going to this meeting. And it was from me for the get-go. Once I heard the idea, like, yes, let's have our first meeting. It was a Tyra and Charles Be Awesome Together thing. And now it is a Mark deal, Tyra Burton, Charles McFall extravaganza. And the three of us have just this tripod of strings. I can't do it with my hands, but this tripod of strings that it just clicked instantly. And what do you want to talk about? You go ahead and do your I'm rambling. You refine. Go for it.
So it's called Pod Jam Atlanta. It's coming in March. I think we're still on for March 1st. Is that
March
true, Charles?
1st. That's it.
We're looking for some podcasts to come and go live and share with the community. We're trying to book us a headlining podcast. We're going to see how that works out for us. So we're not going to talk about that. We've got a logo and some marketing that's going to come out hopefully starting next week. And we're just excited to bring podcasting to an audience and do it live. And actually the venue, which we'll hold a little close to our chest for right now, is an upcoming Atlanta venue that really is awesome and just great people with a good vibe that have studios that could be utilized by podcasters and actually musicians as well. So we are excited about doing it. And it gives us an excuse to get together. And it will also be live streamed for those of you like Sarah Rose that don't live in the Atlanta area. But if you are in the Atlanta area and you have a podcast and you want to be part of it, we've got a place for you to fill out an application to join us. But I don't have the link. Charles, actually, do you have the link?
I'm all choked up. It's just so moving. Tonight. I have this link, which will ultimately get you there. Linktree, DC Digital Media Track, because it'll get you to Discord, which in the general room in Discord is the link to.
Yeah, but you're never going to find. You're
asking
people. I want to
repost it.
Okay, he's going to repost it.
And you know what? I'll put it on that Linktree. So Linktree / DC Digital Media Track.
You don't have the password for it.
Are we sure I don't have the password?
I don't think you have the password.
Well, okay. Whoever has a password, Tyra, can do it. But yeah, okay.
I can't give them all the keys, people.
Well, you know what? That will go on the link tree.
It will. I will put it on there now.
It's a Google form. It's one of those forms whatever.
I'm trying to find it. There it is.
There it is. Bobby found it. Forms.gle.
Bobby, you're the best.
Whoo. You're going to have to look at the video if you're on the podcast because go to the link tree. We're going to get it out
type it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
It's in the
chat.
And
all the channels. It'll go pop up in all of them as a link.
Oh, you want me to do some work?
I don't have power this week because I got onto my own StreamYard. So I am merely a guest.
All right.
I'll put it on the link tree. I promise. I need to update our link tree anyway, so there we go.
And it'll be in the show notes and on YouTube.
Vintage Macaroni, it is going to be a good time.
It's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be so much fun. We are actually trying to get Dragon Con official to endorse it. That's not a meeting we've actually had yet, so I can't say yay or nay, but that would be pretty awesome.
So right now it's Charles, Mark, and Tyra.
Yes.
Having some fun. There we go. Podcast, you see how easy that was?
I got there. Podcast Atlanta and Be Awesome Together is coming together. We're putting together Pod Jam Atlanta.
Pod Jam Atlanta.
Yeah, Podfest was taken.
I know. I like Pod Jam better because it's got more energy to it.
Yeah, we're not gonna have vendors. We're not gonna sell you stuff. We're not gonna do because there's plenty of great cons that do that. We're gonna just entertain you and let you have some fun for 8 hours. It's gonna be awesome. Sarah says, "Are we still doing some Takeover Wednesdays this year? Possibly. We are. By ChinaCon, we'll be sitting down to really look at the year and look at everything we're going to be doing.
We definitely are.
I like it.
We're going to have, I'm going to go ahead and just, they haven't told me a date yet, but I don't care. Hissin and Kissin are going to be joining us, but they're going to just be talking to Charles and I. So, but obviously talking about their show. We really want to talk to creators about their show and how they go through the process and how they're awesome. Because there's always something to learn from everybody. That's what I've learned a long time ago. Everybody has something to teach you, no matter where they are in life and what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's always something. I learned so much from my students.
Yeah, and we're gonna have they contacted me through Linktree. We're gonna have what did Bobby say? One of my intentions is to start talking more to Tyra about riding y'all's coattails at the other cons. Hey, come on, man.
I know, we got it. We'll figure it out. We need to figure out what you're interested in too. Plus, I want to do something at Siege.
I kind of want to be one of my aspects of how the world sees me is I want to be the Judd Apatow of cons. You know, Judd Apatow had that group of great actor comedians that he brought up underneath him and did all those movies. Sandler and Seth Rogen and a bunch of them. That was the Apatow crew. So whenever he did a movie, you would see some of those faces, and I'd like that. Hey, let's go to GamerCon. I got a whole bunch of gamers in my crew. That's gonna be awesome. Hey, let's go to RiderCon. I got a whole bunch of riders in my crew. It's gonna be awesome. That's all.
We do actually need to talk. But speaking of, I did not know that there was what is this name of this? Stream Atlanta, which also has a Discord. Yes. And they're having an event this coming up January 25th. Is that right?
That's towards the end of the month. Yes, 25th.
So we'll talk about it in the future, but look them up. I'm going to try to get more involved with Stream Atlanta because I never thought I'd be streaming, but hi.
Here we are. Yep.
I hate the camera, and here I am.
Yeah, so next week will be Chattacon, and then in 2 weeks I'll be hopefully going to there. Yeah, you've got your own charity thing to attend to.
So I work with an organization called Pilot that deals with brain injury and health and mental well-being. So, but more importantly, my sisters are also a part of it, so it's kind of sister time.
Yeah. And then we want to talk about have we really covered our stuff? Oh wait,
I don't know. Dice and diversions. If I wasn't at Chattacon, I would be going to that.
Yeah,
that's my other non-career related thing. I'm gonna start throwing dice again. I don't know.
Oh, craps tables, here we come.
Not that kind of dice.
Oh,
RPG, D&D, Pathfinder.
Okay, look, yes. I would love to sit down with people because she knows some really interesting people.
I know a lot of interesting people.
And do some one-offs like that. I'd love to play a game.
You know what I know what we should do one night? Tells by Bob.
Oh, yes.
There we go.
Here's where I thought you were going to go.
Hey, where'd you think I was going to go?
We should do a creative D&D Be Awesome Together night one night on the show.
So we should do it. Let's go.
So both of those things.
I'm the healer. That's what I do. Because I can't hit the side of the barn even when I'm in D&D land. Which is hilarious because I can actually hit the bullseye if I'm aiming at it anyway.
Well, I don't know if anybody can hit the bullseye if they're not aiming at it.
Well, some people, it's just dumb luck.
Yeah. So, all right. So many ideas, so many good stuff. It's going to be fun.
So does anybody else have their resolution intent, whatever you want to call it, to share with us before we bug out of here after our 2 week off?
That's the t-shirt we need. What are the, you going to call it? Because that covers a lot of things.
I'm trying so hard.
I love it. I would buy that t-shirt because I know what's behind it.
It's the F word is what I want to use. But today I said sugar plum fairies and scared my husband.
You cracked Ryland up with that at the party because I was able to bring two of my kids with me to the solstice that we do with Tyra and her husband and all the group of us that get together. And you were being, I don't know why you're being on your best behavior because these are your friends. So we all know the Tinkerbell is the Affer Bell. But you were using holiday themed curses like, oh, gingerbread or something like that. And that cracked Ryland up. And he started going down a list of all next time would be elf poop or this and that and the other. So very good.
I try, but sugar plum fairies I've been saying for a while.
Yeah.
So Sarah Rose has one: to be fair to myself, not let people take advantage of my giving, helpful nature. And I too have that on mine, except for mine is learning to say no.
Fair enough. Now, Sarah, I will do for you what I do for people I like. You can't not get something. You can't go. If I tell you go stand by the light switch and not turn it off, there's no action to take. The universe needs action. You need action. So you have to say what you want. And I would say what you're saying is what you want this year is to be better at protecting your heart and giving to people who will reciprocate.
Charles, you have a depth that sometimes we just don't get to see. That was awesome.
I know. I wrote a book about it. It's called Success Freaks Guide to I forget what the rest of it we called it.
We're going to call it Chasing Excellence with Be Awesome Together with Intent.
Yeah. So because that one's very important to me, and I've irritated my family with it. Mm-hmm. But and when I say I like you, I mean I don't just do it to random strangers or anything. But if it's somebody, if you're in my okay, there's another book you need to read. It's called the one I read was Return to Zero. Is Joe Dispenza, and I cannot remember the doctor from Hawaii that did it. But the concept is that we all have imagine a physical sphere around you. And everybody we interact with comes into that sphere, right? So Tyra and I are in a sphere interacting. That means everything she ever did before, even though I wasn't part of that caused problems for her, I'm a part of her solution now, and vice versa. And so while we're interacting in that sphere, we are a part. That's a zero, right? We're connected. We're a part of that. I'm a part of her success. I'm a part of her failure. I'm a part of everything that she is and the more you interact, like we become creative partners, that intensifies that bond versus, I'm involved with everybody at Dragon Con, but I'm not as much a part of Travis's past or Bobby's past or present or future as I am working with Tyra every week type of thing. I hope you understand that. So what I say is to say, I always want people to understand the thing that Return to Zero. I'll look it up in a second as we're wrapping out here. And before we end the show, I will put it on there for you. Joe Dispenza, 0 Point and Return to Zero. I think maybe 0 Point was the first one. Anyway, I don't remember if it's that book I learned that you can't not get something. That just hit and it changed my life forever. Only go, I want this. And that intent got me there because I used to say, I didn't realize how much I fed into myself in this because I used to say a phrase, I'm never wrong, which I'll get to the first part of that in a second that had to change. But it was about, if I give you something, if I feel something, I go, hey, Tyra, blah, blah, blah. And you go, okay, that's not 100% right, but you're not wrong. Kind of deal. It's like, no, I know I'm not wrong. I don't know specifics of how this needs to help you, but I know this is what you need right now, or no, blah, blah, blah. I'm never wrong. I used to say before that, I may not always be right. And then once I learned that principle of you can't not get something, like, I've always said basically to the universe, I may always be right, but I'm never wrong. Well, look at me now, baby. I am about to go kick some asses here and get paid to do it.
That's it. So I don't know that book, so you're going to have to find it because I couldn't.
I'm looking at it right now.
For me, it was reading the Celestine Prophecy back in the 1990s. A book rep brought it to me and that I had known while I was teaching at Georgia Tech and said, hey, I think you'd really like this book. And I read it, and it talks about the energy exchange between people and how that manifests and how that works and how, again, it's a lot about speaking into existence and about intent and how you approach others. And so my mother always tried to teach me to approach with kindness and realizing that you don't know what that other person's going through. And so it really honed that in for me, as well as realizing, and this is going back to Sarah's point, that we only have a limited amount of energy. I mean, so you have to decide what are the things in your life that are worth expending that energy on. and where are you focusing that energy? So for me, that's a big thing. I had a huge semester in the fall trying to get some stuff done for work that had to be done. I got it all done. I'm very excited about it, but it means that this semester I can breathe and focus on something else. So I'm doing a digital course that I've always wanted to. I'm learning more about AI, and I'm going to write, people. Every week, Charles, you got to ask me what I've written.
Okay.
I need accountability. I also love working with people is my problem. Sarah Rose said, while Charles is looking, the issue with me is I allow people to take credit for what I do too much. And that is, I think, true for all people, but particularly for those of us who are female presenting, that happens a lot to us. So learning to stand up for yourself, regardless of what gender you are, you got to do it. I suck at it, but I'm getting better. So just everything is a day-by-day thing, and you just have to keep working on it and bringing the right people into your universe. And again, going back to my thing, learning to say no because you're saying yes to something else, to put a positive spin on it for Charles.
I think I may have said the wrong motivational thing. Let's see.
Charles is going to find it. We're going to post it.
But we need to talk about tomorrow and Jimmy Carter.
Yes, we do. So Kaz is wonderful, and she always keeps us informed. And I wanted to make sure that, by the way, post offices and the stock market, who knew those two things work together, will be closed tomorrow because it is a day of remembrance for a day of mourning for Jimmy Carter, President Carter. And we're in Georgia. Jimmy Carter is a part of our heritage here because he was from Plains, Georgia. And if ever there was a man who lived his word, it was President Carter. He was a giving man, and the fact that he just lived with the intent of helping others, of leaving this world better than he found it. And I truly believe that, particularly as a former president, he did that. And so tomorrow is our National Day of Mourning, and in some ways a day of celebration. He's back with his love, Rosalind, and I think that's beautiful because he lived a great life. So remember that. Also remember, don't go to the post office.
Yeah, don't go to the post office.
It was so good. I was like, oh, I wonder if the libraries are open because I have a book to pick up. I actually met Jimmy Carter one time. He did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there was a place called Oxford Books in downtown Atlanta that was awesome. And it had a coffee shop. It was like the first bookstore coffee shop. And it was where all the hipsters back in my day went. Actually went on dates to Oxford Books. That was that kind of place for us nerds. And I met him there, and he was as delightful and surrounded by positive light as you would think that he was.
Oh,
I didn't know that. Kaz just said, throw up Kaz's thing, please. He made homebrewing legal, which led to today's craft beer.
No, I had no idea.
That's awesome. Do you know that President Obama had beer brewed in the White House?
No, I did not know that either.
They did. They brewed beer for the White House. And
wait for another maybe 2 more presidencies, and then we'll be growing some green in the back 40 of the White House.
No.
Yeah, we're good there.
We do need some roses, though.
I did find the book.
Oh, finally. I was running out of things to say, Charles.
Now, it's by Joe Vitale and a Hawaiian doctor. I will mess up the name. I can't do it. I don't want to mess up the name.
Tell us the name of the book.
But it's called Zero Limits, The Secret Hawaiian System for Wealth, Health, Peace, and More. And I wanted to read that last part there and okay, that sounds like a get rich book. But that's why it took me forever to remember it, because I didn't take away that this was a book. It is about introspection. It's about learning about the influence and how you help people. And it changes how you see the world. And it changes intent. And I didn't think about the wealth and part of it. It was like, I read this because another friend of mine who was going through stuff like I did now recommended it. And I was like, this doesn't sound like what I remember about this doctor who was in he was running a mental hospital, and somehow he started helping people that he never even saw. This book does not that, but it is. So my memory, and the cover is like this beach. It's very, very buy me to get rich kind of motivational marketing on the book. But I'm telling you, this book changed my life. Just that idea Oh, every time, even if it's for a minute, and I'm at that store with the cashier, and they're having a bad day because who knows what's going on at home, and instead of me being mean back, I'm just nice to them, or I give a little bit of energy, become a little fun or entertain them for a second. That changed their life, and that then helped whoever they're dealing with, and so on and so forth. It's that domino effect. That's the book.
That's very Celestine prophecy too.
I don't know if I know that. But
it's interesting that we both have kind of like a different book that talks about it.
Okay.
But it also talks about how that energy reaction and give and take, so that if you approach something with anger, you get anger, really does have that.
Yeah. I just put in a little quote from the back that you guys can read. So we're going to wrap it out here. Not sure what we're going to do next week, but
no idea.
We're talking about guests and stuff. It won't be next week, but I had a blast from my past. Reached out on LinkedIn, and Dot Cannon, who I met early on through some conventions that we did and whatever. She's just kept up with me through the years. I was like, hey, I'd love for you to come on. Let's talk about the early days of podcasting, your whole journey, how you're still doing your show. She's very excited about it. So I'm trying to work out a date with her on that right now.
Awesome. Don't forget to look at the schedule to see if we have anybody booked.
We have a schedule?
Oh, God.
All
Save
right,
me, cause. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Is it on the calendar? That's the first thing she says.
No. I just have a few possibilities of dates.
Don't choose the one nearest Valentine's, because that's what I'm hoping for hissing and kissing.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does. Valencia, we love you.
And thanks to our Gilman of Podcasting World, Jennifer O'Connell, Cause, for keeping us online and being our producer every week. We appreciate you.
We love you.
Oh, I guess we should just.
Is it time for me to dance like Lucy?
It is time. We love all of you. Thank you for coming out, making a great night. Great kick off the new year.
Absolutely.
Go out and be awesome.
With intent.
With intent. I charge you with intentional awesomeness.